Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for having me. Hector Bellerin, what is this guy not in the headlines for? I'm not going to speak about what he's been in the headlines for this year, but for the last couple of years, more so last year, you heard he wants to leave, he wants to go back to Barca, he wants to do this, he wants to do that. He signed a new deal. It did look like he'd leave regardless. But then rumours have come back. Now, Juventus allegedly want to bid 50. I was seeing 55 and I was also seeing 45. I've seen more 45 million pound bids or reports, so we'll go with 45. They want to pay 45 million for him. They were interested in the summer. They're interested again and they're preparing the briefing to go after him again in the summer. Now, when you consider that if whether that voice note thing was true or not, he said he wanted to leave. I mean, you need to let a man go if he wants to go. Bellerin, I believe there's a player in there with the right coach and he could be a very decent right back, which I do believe he is a decent right back. And I don't necessarily want to sell him on the basis that he's young. From a marketing value, his rate is only going to improve. He's only going to get better with the right coaching. He's come through the academy. He's tied down for a significant amount of time, and that's rarely said about Arsenal. Yeah, like there's just, and because we've got several other areas, whether it's in goal, centre half, centre mid, on the flanks. Ironically, we need a right back and a left back to challenge Bellerin and them and there, let alone replace them. So if as a club, if we've shown historically, if we're not gonna fix gaping errors that needed to be addressed for years, why would we, on top of needing to fix them, create more problems from ourselves if we're not going to pattern them? So on that basis, I wouldn't want to sell him. On the basis that he hasn't kicked on, he hasn't improved really and truly of note, visibly, considerably, which he has improved, but not considerably, keyword considerably, bite their hand off. Should be biting their arm off for 45 million for Bellerin. That's a shag. That's a shag. He's not worth 25 million, let alone 45. He can't cross. He could just about recover. There's nothing there. He doesn't even use his pace no more. Like, these are the sort of things which I'm saying. If he could be coached and stuff and get some... I think he's playing with a serious mental handbrake. I do think he's scared. And to a degree, I do think a change in environment might be best for him because it is toxic. But by that same logic, bite his hands off. I can't blame him if he... Apparently, he's concerned about the direction of his career. I can't blame him. Like I said, he hasn't kicked on. He's at a club that, under the guise of being prestige and 7th, 8th richest club in the world and all of these things, steadily decline, en route to finish 6th, or even 7th, because Burnley could catch us and these things there. I can't blame him for that. He looks to his left, he looks to the right, he sees no winners. He doesn't see any winning. And I'm not talking about necessarily trophies. He doesn't see men that want to win. He doesn't see elite mentality. He doesn't see anything. And when you look at Pep, not to get hung up on things, but when you see the other sides in the Premier League, whether they're better than these players or crop of players or not, which I do believe they're not necessarily better than them collectively, they're inspired. So why do you want to? You'd have to jump ship. Whether Ox wins a trophy at Liverpool in his life or not, he's gone to play for someone he wanted to be inspired. So he's went and done that. Alexis, completely different but similar reasons, went United. Several other examples here and there. Gnabry's left Arsenal and he hasn't looked back. So Bellerin must keep in contact with these guys. He must obviously be paying attention and seeing their careers respectively progress, or they're feeling better, or they're more competitive clubs or clubs that are in the champs and things like that. I can forgive a man for wanting to move because, on top of my opinion on you, you're trying to do something about it rather than cry. Like, you look like someone on top of a handbrake and these things. You need guidance, you need inspiration, you need an arm around your shoulder. And I do believe Wenger cares a lot for you, but you're not getting that. And I mean, it's Juventus as well, considerably more attractive opposition than Arsenal. I mean, competitively challenging in the Champions League. They're in the final in recent years. They always get into the latter stages of the competition. Spurs might dump them out, but yeah, I know it's not exactly Barcelona or where he grew up in Spain, but it's equally as nice. I mean, the way of life, the Italian culture, the food, the cuisine, the architecture, the fashion, and all of the stuff off the field, literature, all of the philosophy, and all of these things that Bellerin's interested in, he'd be able to express himself in Juventus. Now, Juventus fans, they're as passionate as them all. They're more passionate than Arsenal fans. They'll mash up your car if you ramp, but I don't really see foreign fans as hysterical, and because I don't follow none really, but as hysterical about football as English fans, and as slating their teams as much on the net and stuff. So he'd get away from that. Obviously, if you see man in the streets, they'll take pictures, but it'll be a slightly better and more relaxed lifestyle than London. And he's a young man, so he probably finds London very attractive, as do I do, but he probably wants quiet by that same logic. And the change of environment is also good in real life to get your head sorted. Like I said, Juventus wanted him last year, so they should take it. If they want him, take the 45 million. Personally, I think you're shagging yourself spending 45 million. If you then develop him and sell him for more, then cool. Or he's your right back for however many years, then cool. But I think you're shagging yourselves, man. You could probably find a fullback for half the price. I mean, you could probably find equally as good fullbacks for considerably less, like the Sociedad right back, man. I can't say his name, but he's drawing a lot of plaudits, and I'm so sure he played in the Europa League and did okay. But yeah, man, there's not much more to be said on that front, man. If he wants to leave, leave. At this moment in time, I don't care who leaves. And 45 million, if we say 45 million, if Ramsey goes and that's 40 plus million because of his contract, that's around 80 before we talk about other transfers that can be reinvested. Like, I really don't care who wants to leave. If man are going to replace players and make us equally as competitive or better, then I have no problems with man leaving, you know. There's also the scope of playing Maitland-Niles at right back. He's been playing better than Bellerin, to be honest, at fullback, if we're really honest. We know he's a midfielder and we want him to play midfield, but we have to consider these options. And he's probably, if Bellerin was to get injured, who else is going to play right back, to be honest with you? Guys, Deluded Guna, you choosing Golo Kante. Get in the comments, subscribe and do the rest. I'm out.